Hi, this is Camilla Blossom Bishop with Earth School, and we're doing a coronavirus healing with the Mystery School and working with the air elementals. So I'm recording this, but this really is an opportunity for all of us to jump in. This is a community gathering. I'd love to hear from all of you or any of you that feel called to speak on your fears, speak on your grief, speak on any aspect of what's going on right now, which is basically an energetic storm, this chaotic energy of what this pandemic is bringing through. And it just felt like the elementals were calling really strongly to me, especially the air elemental dragons. I work with them quite intensely, and these two beings came in to kind of up the work I'm doing with them and to also share it with others and encourage all of us to really step up and do more leading, do more teaching, sharing, and also forming community. Because as you know, just to be by yourself in your house, you know, if you're not with people, can be isolating, and we can feel like, well, what's really going on? I'm moving into my fear. And to be honest, I went through a few days ago, had some very weird dreams and went into my own fear. And I know I've talked to other light workers, earth empaths, people are very sensitive and they've had experiences. So I really want to bring forward how we can support each other and be together and help each other ground, help each other work through whatever is going on that may create, you know, your own chaos. Because it's not always easy to stand in ourselves.
Can you ask people to mute?
Yeah, I'm going to. So I would like to ask that everyone mute their phone, please. And if you're going to talk, you can unmute it and please share. But that way we won't have the background. I'd rather you do that than I do that for the whole group. Thank you, that's better. So I think what I'd like to do just to start with is see if there's any initial experiences or comments or anything kind of coming up today or right now that you feel wants to be brought into the circle. And then after doing that, I want to share a little bit from one of my teachers, more about her understanding of coronavirus. And then I'd like to have some time where we can really go inward and connect with our own guides, our own selves, the dragons, the elementals, and start discovering for ourselves what it is that we're seeing in the inner planes, what we're seeing within our own experience, how we can empower ourselves to sit with that, be with that, but also how we can move into alignment together and be in a place that's more powerful, that feels like we can be in the center of the storm and that we can be there for each other to really, I sort of see it when I work with fairies and elementals, is they're really weaving a container of safety for all of us, and that we are weaving that for ourselves, but also collectively for this whole issue. And so we can work that way and do a meditation to call upon those air elementals and work with them. Even if you haven't worked with them before, I'll do some guiding in it. And so you can follow along with me for those who are more used to doing their own process. You're welcome to do what your own process is. So, for those who just joined the call, please mute your phone. If you don't hear background, hearing it from some people who just got on. Thank you. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'd planned. An hour is probably the longest, but we may go shorter. I just felt like whatever it is people are needing, whatever we're all needing, I'd like to help support each other that way. Okay, so I'd like to open it up now and just see if anyone has any comments, anything's coming through, any sharing, anything you feel is important to be part of this.
I was part of a group meditation on Thursday evening at the Fairy study group here in Jefferson County, and we spent time sending love to the virus, um, and just doing a meditation in which we asked it um, to take care of itself, grow in a way that did not harm humans or the planet. And also one of the members did a protection around us all so as not to make us too open to the virus while we were doing the meditation. And I liked all of those things.
Okay. Yeah, those will definitely be honored in that space. And I feel one of the really powerful ways, Sylvia, is when we work from a place of love, and that we're not trying to change or fix anything here, that we're approaching it with how can we best serve all of creation through that love. So thank you for bringing that forward. And Sylvia is part of my mystery school, and that's how this event kind of came to be. Anyone else? All right, well, let's jump in then. I heard someone talk about the storm, this pandemic, this experience as like an energetic storm. It's a chaos event, and its really purpose, I feel, is to help us grow in love, grow in connection to these higher dimensional frequencies. And unfortunately, it's through a lot of fear and through a lot of feelings of chaos that we grow. And so just to allow ourselves to sit in that energy as much as you can and practice learning how to be the center of the storm. One of the things I wanted to share was grandmother Judith Moore is one of my teachers, and I've been working with her and her group doing different tones and things to help work on the energy of this. I just wanted to share what she said because I thought it was really helpful, and we'll do a little attunement with that as well, and it's kind of a protective energy. But what she explained, and I think it's good to keep in mind with this virus, the coronavirus, is that its purpose really is, as most viruses are, is to detoxify us, to purify our bodies, to help us in a healing process when our body gets congested. And so it's a process that allows us to open to light. And from the channeling that she's been doing, this virus was very much like other viruses in that intention, that it has an intelligence, a consciousness, it's here to be helpful to humanity. But what happened was there was manipulation of the virus by some outside force that created something different that is making it a more deadly, life-threatening virus. And so one of the ways we can protect ourselves that she shared, and I thought was really great, we can do right now, it's like an attunement. And so if you want to, we'll just go into a grounded space and connect for a moment, and then we'll do that attunement to begin with. So bringing your attention inward and allowing your roots, like you're a tree, to go deeply into the Mother Earth. Feel her love, her nourishment. Allow yourself to stretch those roots all the way to the center of the earth. And then ground from your root chakra through a column of light, all the way down to the center of the earth as well. And just release any fears, any emotions, any beliefs, anything that may be upsetting. You're feeling in your body, you're feeling in your field. And we're going to surround the space we have here. Create a sacred space for all of us to be in the light of Source and in the light of Mother Earth. And we'll ask to fill up this space we're creating with the frequencies that we need, the light, the Divine Mother and Father, all our guides and protectors, spirits of love, the fairy realms. We call forth the council of the dragons and the elementals. Call forth the angels, the indigenous ancestors, that come in honor of the land where we are. We acknowledge them and honor them in each location where we are. And all those guides and spirits that hold the light. So we fill this space, the sacred space, with that light. We ground into the earth. Open our crown, our branches to the heavens. Connect in with the crystalline grid of Mother Earth, with your body's crystalline grid, and the crystalline grid of the sun and the great central sun. I'd like to call in the directions and the elements, calling in the myrrh, Fey, Pele, Gnome. Anchor the directions. And if any fear or any worry or any concern starts surfacing, allow that to fall away with gravity deep into the earth. Expand your consciousness out as far as it can go as your body is present. And please, if you can mute your call, great, your phone. I'm hearing somebody. Thank you. So we're creating a sacred space, lifting up the vibration. It feels much better now. Just going to do a little singing bowl. Call in the sound. We're going to invite in energetic transmissions, attunements, guidance, healing, whatever it is that you need right now, whatever's needed on this planet for this collective healing and awakening. Really focusing on that optimal health, immunity, and collective optimal health and well-being. And so tuning into your body for a moment, tuning into your cells, your bioorganism, deep into your cellular network, your body elemental. Just ask to connect with that within you, your physical body, your energy body, with love and truth. And we're going to ask this, your own body, to connect with the primordial optimal body of humanity. This is the blueprint for the body of humanity, the health, the immunity, the strength, the beauty, the optimal well-being of your body. And we ask Source to fill the cells, to fill our body, to nourish it, feed it. and anchor it into the earth, the new earth. And Joanna, could you mute your, please? Thank you. And we'll call in the record keeper whales and the DNA to come into alignment with Source, with Mother Earth. And imagine yourself as the center. So whatever goes on around you and in this, on the earth, doesn't have to affect you. So breathe that in. And before I go on to do I want to do a meditation to connect, to open and connect with these dragons, these air dragons, these sylphs, these air elementals. And one of the messages was that they can help us. Oh, and I want you to connect with your own too, if you haven't done that before. So we'll be connecting with our own air elementals and then working with the council of air elementals and dragons to bring forward these great beings who are here to help us. And one of the things they really want from us is that we start connecting with them more, connecting with nature more, connecting with the earth in a deeper way so that we can really contain and be the center of the storm and stay in our inner peace and stay outside of fear. And I know at times that's difficult. We all go in and out of our own experiences, and just to have compassion for yourself when you go into that, but really use your tools. You know, we've all collected a lot of tools and techniques and things over the years for how we can stay in balance. Even just things like taking a walk or having a cup of tea or taking a rest, like doing simple things. Or if you are a healer and doing more things, there's a lot of tools that you have that can help you come back to center and quiet yourself and be in meditation. And just the fact that we're told to kind of isolate ourselves is another demonstration of the importance of that, to be doing that right now, right? To be in that space and holding that space of love. So I'd like to open it up and just ask if anything's coming through for anyone to share as we move into the meditation, or any concerns, anyone feeling like they need more support or they want to share support to offer. I'd like to open that up. You can just unmute your phone and share.
Hi, Camilla. It's Andrea.
Hi.
Hi. I wanted to say that I was feeling a lot of fear last night about the propaganda of people, not a lot of business, everything's closed, and people are, their incomes are lowering, and all that stuff is changing. And I could feel the like hysteria of that. And then I tried to go into the grace of that, you know, we're supported, but I could feel everybody's fear. Even in my neighborhood, like the restaurants aren't opening, and I know all the business owners and they're all like tense. So I just wanted to bring some light to that. And just that it feels that unity, like I'm just praying for everybody, you know, everybody's well-being and support.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard sometimes not to get into the panic mode, and I can feel a little energy here too. Like it felt really good, but then I can feel the rising of some of that in the group. So I just want to acknowledge, and that's fine. We all have things that we're working through. So just to honor and be with whatever kind of fear or worry or anxiety, and just send love and compassion. We're gonna just do work with these elementals to help support that process of us to work through it, and also to hold that container for any collective healing we can offer. Does anyone else want to share or speak on what's coming up for them? Sometimes it helps too to like say your fear or say what your concern is and just let it surface. And my suggestion too is when things do come up, if you can just allow source to move through that and through you, and just kind of allow the awareness of whatever that shadow or whatever that uncomfortable, whatever that is, just to move through it and kind of expand it. Because I think we've been taught in the past to protect ourselves, to kind of contract and hold in. But I think it's really important now for us, be embodied, but also let our consciousness expand as large as we can get, so that we can allow these things to come and help them expand, so we don't hold them. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyone else? Yeah.
Death.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. Death is one of my allies. Has a lot to offer into the current considerations.
Yes.
I had this thought the other day that the experience that we're going through currently might be akin to a preparation phase for a lot of the concerns that have been expressed over the last decade or so related to issues with climate change.
Mm-hmm.
Because the dynamics of the impermanence of this physical plant we know as our body is a learning space that death sits there as a reminder of this fact that this too shall pass, but it really is, it's not a heavy, because we've been through these incarnations so many times before, and I'm sure will again in one form or another, because I don't think that the actual form that we take is so set in concrete that we're always going to be coming back as humans, or for that matter, in this particular earth plane. But death is, there's a lot of the concerns, the consternations, the fear that is being played through so many resources these days, because it's been used as a tool to control us for so very long. And one of the only ways that it can control us is if we are not made aware of the dynamics of the enormity of the spirit being that we actually are. And this whole process of community, if you can see it as an energy infold, that no matter where you are, no matter when you are, these kind of connections that we're having right now are really more as a reminder to us of a most creative space that we inhabit when we know each other are present, always present in any moment, and can be relied upon as an energy resource to share with as we engage in whatever comes our way, even if it is the so-called fear of death. Oh my God, that's playing such a big one these days. It just to know that, we are much bigger than that, so much bigger than that. And we're in the process of reminding others of the dynamics of what it is we have to share with one another as we join together to allow this life experience to just be lifted up continuously, always, onward.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that forward. I want to add too, some people feel these viruses do come out of the earth and they're exposed because of the melting of the ice and the snow. And so we're being exposed to these different things that are kind of conscious forms to help us in this next stage. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, Jeff.
I would add to that earth element consideration, because our physical form, it's all made of the earth. It's all made of all the elements that are here on planet Earth. And there's a continuous recycling process of all these elements over and over and over again. And if something like that has appeared from the earth, it's already a part of us.
Yeah.
You know, it is there. You know, we just may not have tuned into it at an effective enough level to be able to deal with it creatively.
Yeah. Thank you. Does anyone else want to bring anything forward?
Hi, Camilla.
Hi, Joanna.
It's Joanna. How are you?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I had a few things coming up this morning. The first thing that came out was by working in the mythic was like Dorothy, and working with in the mindfulness and in the heart and having courage. And those three pieces seem to like come together in a form of like, we're going to pull back the curtain and see the wizard behind this whole chaos, right? But if we can keep those mindfulness and the courage and in your heart together, then we can come through this, you know, collectively on a bigger scale. So that's kind of one thing. And the other thing was that I like to journey over to things that are bothering me, like what is, if somebody has a disease or if somebody has something happening in their bodies, and journey to it and see like, what does it have to show? Like, what is this one I haven't journeyed to, because I just feel like it's so big that I guess I'm a little bit nervous and like not as brave. I don't have the bravery to do that yet. This is also new, but that's one thing I would love to do, maybe collectively or somehow, figure out like what it has to show each of us and where we are in it, in the process.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing today.
Yeah, I hear you. Good. And that was my intention too, to use this as an exploration and discovery for our relationship to this, as well as how we can support the collective. So thank you for
Thank you so much for having this.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Hi, Camilla. This is Susan.
Hi, Susan.
I just feel like a big, like this. I don't know if this is like a narcissistic sort of personality trait or if this is like a real thing, but I feel like I'm a huge reason, like I feel like I'm a huge part of why this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. I just feel like this is like, if I don't do something for myself, then it's gonna get not just worse for myself, but for everybody. I don't know, I just feel like I'm just responsible in a huge way for this. And if I don't take care of myself, I'm just not helping humanity.
Mm-hmm. You're feeling the oneness, kind of the earth empath energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing honestly and that vulnerability. And I want to call in, there's a couple of plant essences that came forward today. The Western red cedar tree, to really hold ourselves as trees of life, activate our power as bridges, conduits between heaven and earth, and also yarrow, which is to be in the vulnerability of being a human, having feelings. There's a lot of Christ consciousness to that plant, but that is something that it brings forward. It's purifying and detoxing as well, so it's appropriate for the virus. But Yeah, to welcome those plant spirits to be with us as we journey. Maybe there's something, Susan, you can discover during the journey about your role in it. Sometimes we get called to these things because we have a role in it somehow. We think this is our responsibility. Maybe you're seeing it as a big picture, but really each one of us has a role to play in what's going on in the planet right now in the evolutionary process. So this is kind of a call to each one of us, like how can we step up and be, like take care of ourselves, or how can we step up and do this group? How can we step up and love the earth and care for places? So it is a call. It's a call, and to be in peace, to be in the state of love. So, so that's a really interesting thing. To thank you for speaking on that. Does anyone else want to?
I was going to share, I don't know how to, I guess I'm just unmute and talk.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, it's a Yama.
Okay.
It's interesting. I feel like we're all safe. I don't know if I'm in denial or don't want to pay attention to it, but I just have a very strong feeling that kind of this everything's going to work out okay. I work in hospice and I work for Providence, so nothing about my work will be called off. And that's just an interesting place to be in. I'm not sure if at any point the organization of Providence is going to give staff an opportunity to say, you know, we don't want to work. But I feel like I'm just going to keep showing up and remain healthy. And denial is a funny thing. Like, I don't feel like I'm in denial, but I'm wondering if I'm just so well mastered at managing so much in the work I do and, you know, working with death every day, that I don't want to see it, or if it's really true, if the truth is that we are going to be okay and that the fear is just being magnified to a place just beyond real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're going to all be okay. Where I'm coming from.
Yeah, it's interesting, the spectrum of experience that we, to me, that feels like part of that 5D and higher dimension is being in all of that, right? Acceptance and knowing whatever happens, all is still well, all is well. So, would anyone else like to say anything? We'll have time after too the meditation, because I feel like there'll be things that people will probably want to share after connecting. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and everyone, once I get comfortable, we're going to go inward and journey with the dragons and elementals and your guides, and connect with them. They will help you go into any exploration or discovery or visioning or understanding of this virus. But of course, go in. We are in a sacred space. We're going to be viewing and having discoveries about it from our own sacred space. So you don't necessarily have to journey into it if you don't feel comfortable with that, whatever you feel comfortable. You can also just do your own journey and follow along with your guides and see where you need to go in this. Honor that, whatever that is. And then I'll bring everyone back. I will just see what I'm guided to share and bring that forward. I don't really know what that's going to look like. I'm just open, and we'll follow that and kind of see what we discover. So does anyone have any questions about that? Or Andrea, do you want to add anything? Andrea is here too to really help ground and hold space. We work together. We just did an abundance online course the other day, and it was really helpful to ground into our inner child and some of those fears that come up. So that's something that I think is coming up for those fears, is to really ground that. So Andrea is really supporting us too energetically for any of us that are, things are coming up. So thank you for being here, Andrea. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add.
Sure, quick. I just want to add, as everyone was talking, I was seeing that this is a collective, part of the collective purging since 2012, and it's part of our soul mastery work. So we're seeing the same fears come up and mirrored in the collective. And I'm excited to share this momentum, because I feel like when we get hit with our own fear and the global fear, we get frozen. And to have community, even if we're just going through the motions and we feel the healing later, it's just so good. Because even as I slowed down and you were holding space, I was like, oh, these are the same fears that I felt last year. I conquered this, but it's coming up again, and I have my tools, and it's a wonderful, like, the oneness in the community is so important. So thanks for having this, Camilla. But
Yeah.
excited about the journey.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone get comfortable and start just doing some cleansing breaths, breathing in deeply through the nose, and then you can open your mouth to cleanse and release anything you don't need. And just really honor, like I say, any fears, any feelings, any emotions, anything that surfaces, grief, whatever it is, and just cleanse. And just know your body is sacred. Your body is supported and loved. Your guides are here. And we are safe to allow that deep connection with Mother Earth. Allow her nourishment to feel safe on Earth, regardless of what's going on. We're here to let life rise up from the earth into our body, and let the light of divine shine down into our body and mix and radiate out. That each one of you is a master, is a powerful creator being. We've come together here because we are being asked to be in community, to support and love each other, to synchronize our heartbeat as one, and synchronize it with the heartbeat of nature, the nature spirits, the Mother Earth, the oneness of all of creation. And I invite in the grandmothers of creation, the spirit grandmothers, to hold us in the sacred circle, in the sacred community, and help us feel comforted and loved and supported, to know all is well. All is well on our planet. You can see them circling the whole planet. These are the grandmothers that created everything, that birthed this planet, that bring forward those elemental forces of fire, earth, air, and water, and ethers. And these elemental forces are the voices of Mother Earth. These elemental beings, the dragons and gnomes, the sylphs, the myrrh, all these beings. And we welcome your beings, your guides, your elemental guides, spirit guides, to come together in circle with you and in this circle of creation. Come to honor life itself. And honor the healing that can come from this experience of the coronavirus. I'd like to hold this circle and honor and love this intelligent being, this coronavirus as a being, as an intelligence, where it came from, where it birthed from in this dance of creation. It is part of creation, it's part of nature. I'd like to hold that love. You can imagine light, rainbows, energy extending to this intelligent being, to honor that it came here with a purpose, with something to teach us all, some way to help us do this dance of life and death, this dance of fear versus love. Just feel that within you, this dance that you have gone through these last few weeks, and honor that dance. And even integrate that with an infinity symbol, allowing that light to move through all aspects of you and bring them all into oneness together. And I call forth these council of dragons and air elementals and sylphs. They have come forward to honor us, to be with us in this state of co-creation. They are so thrilled to be with us today and to share this opportunity to deepen our relationship with them, to learn about them, to mentor with them, to be a student, to be a healing with them. And so I'd like to have you call forth an air elemental or a dragon of sylphs, whatever kind of energy that wants to be a guide for you, a personal guide for you in this moment. And just open and invite that being to come forward in your space. And know this being is here to make sure you feel good and safe and grounded and open to the spirit communication. Because the air elementals open us to this communication of spirit, how we can co-create, work together through those realms, the subtle energy realms, the spirit realms. Whether you get a vision, a feeling, a slight breeze, just open to this being and see if there's any communication, any transmissions that can come through for healing you and your body and your mind. If there's some cleansing of your mind and beliefs, we'll allow this being to help that come through. And then stand in circle with the rest of the council of these dragons. And these two beings, Eros and Garinya, these two elemental dragons that came forward to support us and to help with this healing process. So you can welcome any of these air elementals, spirits in this circle to come and work with you personally to begin with. And if there's any frequencies that you need, anything that needs help to release or to reconfigure, realign, repair, restore within your being, allowing your breath to deepen that. And the dragons want you to bring your attention to the spine, breathing in and out up and down through the spine to activate your own kind of inner dragon, your own inner air elemental energies. And really activate your lungs deeply, filling with that life force, the energy of light. And the dragons want us to all together take a breath, and we're going to send a breath of love and a breath with the power to transform to the center of our circle, to this intelligence of the coronavirus, and just sending it this wave of air energy to this intelligent being, the intention to give it the blessing and food for its ascension. So it doesn't need to be life threatening. It can move through and on in a graceful way, in a way of ease. Whatever you're seeing with this breath is the purpose for you. And I'm seeing with these air elementals, we're building this kind of weaving of this air. It's almost like weather, atmosphere, space, communication of grace and peace that we carry. And the dragon communication that came in earlier is that we are here to help humanity at this distressing time. First, to know that you are safe. You are cared for and loved. This virus does not want to harm you. It is conscious and here to help you help detoxify and purify and awaken and care for our body so we can carry more light. And so working with these dragons, they say, see the kind of energy of contagiousness of this in the world. See that energy in the air of how it spreads. See that these air elementals and dragons are spreading around our circle or spreading out all around the planet, all around the hot spots, all around the people, and dissolving the energy of the virus that is in the air, that's on the surfaces of places. And see rainbows of spiral light with the virus, surrounding it, swallowing it up into space, whatever breaking apart or unraveling that it wants to do, any distorted part of its energy. And as we work with this virus and allow whatever wants to happen here, tune in for a moment to your experience of what this experience is doing for you. What is this? What is showing up for you in this coronavirus that is your teaching about it? Is it helping you face your own mortality? Is it showing you where you resist, where you feel frozen, where your fears still lie? Whatever it is, just embrace the teaching of it. Breathing into that. And allowing these elementals to work with us, with our circle, with the planet. And seeing them helping dissolve fear, collective worry, expanding consciousness, the light, uplifting the whole energy around it. And I'm getting some kind of communication from the intelligence of the virus. And so open to that as well. It's feeling very misunderstood and was subjected to distortion. So just holding that intelligence in that space of love and truth. And even bringing through joy, bringing through that energy of joy and play. And feeling it starting to lighten up more. And whatever you're being directed to do, please open to that. Any conversations or opening to spirit. And I can feel this intelligence of the coronavirus is just feeling so much hatred and energy from humanity towards it. So some of what we're doing is breaking up and helping dissolve and vaporize that energy. Is really seeing source move through this energy, this intelligence. And allowing it to expand and receive whatever it needs. And whatever you need at this time, tune into that energy. I'm feeling a lot of joy and happiness move in, and celebration, to really claim and bring in the joy of life, the pleasure, the happiness to be alive. Maybe this is something that reminded us, right? That to be alive, to be here, to be in the space of love. So I'm seeing the continuation of working with the circle, the sphere, this light. We'll just let that continue. I'd like to just open it up to if anyone is getting anything they'd like to add.
Hello, everyone. My name is Toby. I actually work as a hospice nurse for Providence in Washington State. I want to say I for a bit have been continuing to think about just the name coronavirus, and corona in Latin means crown,
Yeah.
and this relationship to the potential of opening the crown chakra. And I don't have that teased out really, but it keeps returning, and it did right now.
Yeah.
I want to say before I forget, also thank you so much for holding this. When I saw the email, I just knew. I just felt this is exactly what I needed, and just thank you so much. Because it represents that we can still be together, even if it's not prudent to physically gather together at this time. And I personally don't think that we collectively, physically, are all going to be okay. But I think part of the thread, the concept that there can be healing without cure, that those two things are not. Sorry, I feel like I'm having a hard time gathering my thoughts. I just that feels very strong and real to me, that wherever this takes us is similar. And I also was reminded why I was so called to you. Just the language you use about we aren't here to heal the earth, like we're here to heal our relationship with it. And today I went for a walk, and there was some traffic. I mean, there wasn't much, but still there was the city part. But I couldn't believe how bold fonts. I just watched the birds getting worms, and I watched these seagulls, and it was really interesting to me how I don't know if I can explain it, but I just felt like I was watching my own shift in consciousness. And I think I don't want to take up more time, but I was feeling really called to number one, give gratitude to you and to everyone here right now, and to just share those things.
Thank you, Toby. And even if I felt the words and the feeling behind it is very strong, so thank you. We're happy to have you here. Yeah, and I think that I love what you said about the corona, that word, because I've had that thought too of how the corona of the sun, the shining of the sun, and I just feel that the space we created here together with the elementals just feels to me like this massive sun. It's like we're shining so brightly. And however, when I say, and when we hold that space, all is well, like that all is well in whatever path anyone goes on. It's all in perfection, right? Whether that's passing over. So to honor whatever path that is. Yeah, it's very important. Does anyone also have anything to share that was coming forward for their own teaching about what this? I mean, I guess you were sharing that, either your own teaching or also what you were feeling for how we can hold collective space for this.
I have been on this journey with Shrem, a spirit dragon that came many years ago, many times before. And on this particular journey, I felt almost like, because this encircles the globe many times, but I could feel a kind of like a dew that was infused with the spirit of love and life, gently settling over all the areas that we flew, and washing and cleansing and passing through the virus and allowing it to be embraced. It does not necessarily mean there will not continue to be serious issues.
Yeah.
But when you brought up that sensation of joy, I tuned into the image in Italy of all those people in those buildings
Yeah.
singing their national anthem. It is a potent and powerful tool that's available to every one of us to share and really, really recognize the wholeness that we represent for everyone to tune into. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. It's like the tears are the dew of the dragons, right?
So Camilla, this is Danielle, and I would like to just say a few things. What came to me was a connection back with the fires that have been so prevalent upon the earth in the not so distant past, and how this virus is also a burning away, or provides the opportunity to burn away. And what I saw was that I haven't really had a connection with the dragons myself, but as you were inviting them in, I could see the breath and the fire, and just really recognizing that that element seems to be, there's a lesson in it, in the power and the transmutation of the fire. And I don't really fully understand it, but I wanted to share that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. The elemental forces want to be with us, right? Teach us. Feel like I'm, again and again asked to be in mentorship with the elements and the elementals. Such a gift to learn from the kind of the core of creation, right? Those forces, what we're created from. And the corona is the fire, right? Anyone else?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure no one else wanted to talk, but I just wanted to say that I really felt a white dragon come through and wrap around me and comfort me. And it was all about safety. Like the coronavirus is all about like, we're not safe, right? We're not safe to leave the house. We're not safe to breathe the air. And it's like, the dragon was just like hugging me almost like I was little and it was wrapped around me. And it was like just receiving that comfort, like that feeling of safe, of not being safe isn't necessarily real, and that I could receive the comfort of feeling safe, and just like bringing that frequency in. And as you were doing the meditation, I saw a lot of pillars of light just wrapping around. I kept seeing the circular energy wrapping around the planet, and it's just, this is extracting and creating mass change in society and government and lifestyle. It's really opening everyone's hearts to that we have to help, and it's a beautiful thing, but it's a thorn, right? So it needs love and grace to evolve society. It's all about evolving society, I hear, and that we just need a lot of love and grace for that. And I'm so grateful to feel that beautiful support of the Dragon Kingdom and like let that support in. That was a big one, just letting yourself receive the comfort and the support. So thank you. And thank you for having this, Camilla, and thank you all for being here. Lots of love.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so grateful for all of you to do this with me. It was sort of a spur of the moment thing, kind of egged on by Andrea a bit too, reminding me, hey, the dragons. I'm like, oh yeah, they're talking. Anyone else want to share? Yeah, I guess for me, what I thought was kind of curious, I mean, sometimes I can see things in sort of animated ways and kind of childlike, but it was almost like the virus seemed like a little like sad, like how it was treated. And I guess to understand, I mean, I have worked with lots of intelligent nature beings and all different kinds of different beings and honoring that. But to see kind of, and maybe I guess too, for me to look at the reflection of that, you know, like sometimes we see something and we're really seeing a reflection for ourselves. So I'm going to be looking at that too, but just that it was kind of sad. Like it was subjected to so much, you know, hate and intense energy from everyone on the whole planet to it. And yet, like Andrew was sharing, and a lot of you are sharing, like this deeper purpose is like amazing. And look what it did to create what we're doing today and how much it's expanding each one of us in some way. And so I think maybe for all of us to, as kind of a takeaway from that, you know, our own experiences, but to those things even that we see that create harm, like how we can send love to those and love to that. And there is a purpose, and not question the great mystery. You know, that's what we're moving into in this chaotic experience, as we're moving into the time of the great mystery. And that means we don't really understand the bigger picture necessarily, but we need to show up and do what's our part and play the role in the way that we are guided to really listen. So, so I just want to check in if there's anyone else. If not, I want to close the circle. And feel free to connect with me after this. I do feel like this was such a great chance to get together. I'll probably do more. I know Andrew and I have another one coming up the 26th that's on connecting with the ancient wisdom of the earth, and also on being an earth empath and how you work with that. And I feel like a lot of us are earth empaths, like we're very sensitive to the energy. And so I think it ties in with this experience too of how you work with that. So if you're interested in doing more things, we're going to be doing that coming up. But that also this kind of community is really important and wonderful. So thank you so much for all coming and being part of it. So anyone else before we close out? So,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. And just allow the continuation of what else needs to happen in the ethers and the other realms that we are connected with, that can continue on to circle and work on that multidimensional part of ourselves. And for our bodies and ourselves in this life, in this world, I would like to close this circle. Deep gratitude for each one of you, for all of our guides, all of these amazing dragons, air elementals, sylphs, fairies, spirits, all these beautiful ones of the fire, earth, air, and water and ethers that came to weave the circle of healing, of light with us. We give gratitude to the coronavirus, this intelligent being, and release it back to its perfect place. We release the connection of creating this circle together, but always know that we are connected in love and light, in a rainbow connection. And I invite you to, for any medicine that you receive today, to just gather that close within your heart and integrate that within your body, to ground yourself fully in your body. Release anything else you don't need to the sun, to the center of the earth. Thank you so much. And I encourage you to drink water, ground, maybe go outside. Snow, it's snowing here, or there's snow. But just really take care of yourself. We really opened on seeing a bird outside, showing us to the completion that all is well. So thank you again. Blessed be. I'm going to turn off the recording, and if anyone wants to just